Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on the YouTube account and we are going to be doing the absolute epic breakdown of the dimensional hero Hae-in and overall where this hero and how this hero needs to be built to really see success. Now overall, since we had both of these heroes, we know there is a significant delay on the global servers because you do have to wait for the exchange if you're free to play. Then once you do get the chest, you also have to wait for the redemption for the pieces to actually have this hero. So in totality, you have to wait about 50 days until this hero is available, unless you purchase it. Now, if you're looking at spending $15 for all the small spenders, all the small dolphins like myself, spending $15 on this hero is super beneficial for the fact you don't have to use all of those resource chests that we see that are coming with these dimensional heroes to actually get the hero. So let's hop over, guys. Want to take a look at this guide and want to break it down because these are absolutely epic. Now, I'm not going to run through all of the skills and abilities that they possess because we've kind of seen them over and over again, but I want to really focus on the build and what you need for this hero to be successful. So let's hop over and we'll take a look at it. So here's our guide from Rakude and Arkman, just absolutely epic when it comes to the guides that they build. Now, this is the latest dimensional faction hero, like they said. Dimensional, the collaboration was solo leveling if you're unfamiliar. And the disclaimer in here is it is very early. We know on the test server, not as many players are playing any longer. So when it comes to the global servers and when it comes to the delay of having the heroes on really the mass population, having all of these heroes, it does take a little bit of time to see exactly where she's going to be used in formations. But if you are free to play, get these heroes as free to play. Get both of these heroes as free to play. Do not miss them. You will be kicking yourself because you have to wait about 5 months after release if you did not pick them up as free to play. Again, not going to run through all the skills and abilities, but just kind of want to show you what we have, because here's the ultimate. You can see it's got those little swords going with the suppress debuff. Now that is going to be important because it debuffs accuracy, debuffs that magical efficiency. Also, that is when she gains that 60% damage and health loss reduction with the ultimate. Now, Radiant Slash is the second ability. Longer fights, not being able to suppress after the fourth ultimate, which again can really make a big difference on those longer fights. Strategic Guide, important. Skill isn't the active part. The damage isn't too great. What matters is the ally triggering the extra damage in here. Now that, of course, comes with the engraving that we see. The E30, very powerful in PvP and really breaking this down. And then we have the last skill, which is the S rank Hunter. Now, one thing in here to note is both of them do work in unison. Both of them do work together. That is one of the big things. So first of all, her damage is divine. Other heroes in the game that have that type of damage is the awakened version of Belinda. And we know how strong that she can be looking here. Divine damage can crit. And again, playing with Sung and hitting exposed enemies. So this is going to be situational. And if you are not running her with Sejin Woo, you are not going to have the ability to crit. It is just going to be regular damage. Like I said, it seems like they are really built hand in hand and built to go together. As for the passive, she will need 60 crit to hit that 120, 80 crit to maximize that E60, and that is where you do want to build her out. So it makes crit basically an absolute must-have if you want the hero to do the damage that we're seeing. Now, the exchange event, like we kind of talked about, you can go through here, and I believe it's 28 days you can redeem for the chest. Once you have the chest, you do have to wait an additional days that you can go in there. But with the dimensional exchange items, they are giving you everything that you need to go ahead and redeem for these heroes, but you do have to really keep them. Now, one thing to note is we've seen this last time with the Delicious and Dungeon crossover that we just seen. You can only hold 10 chests at a time. You cannot hold all of the day's chests and all of the weeks of chests altogether. You can only hold them, only hold 10 of them. Then you have to start using some of the resources. But overall, you can save some of the chests, you can cap some of the chests, and they will also sit in your mailbox for the next 14 days. So you do have a little bit more of a leeway in there. Once the chest is claimed, you will gradually get hero shards, and then 15 after 4 weeks, 60 shards. You will finally have enough to claim the hero unless you are dropping that $15 and really building out the hero. So what does it look like when it comes to the build? This is the important part. What is the investment on this hero? Now we can see right here that a plus 30 signature item is good to have the plus 40 on her is a must. Now, plus 40, absolutely mandatory. It provides, really seeing if she's a carry, grants her 40% attack rating to every ally that is alive, including herself, which is a 200% attack if all allies are alive. Guys, that's broken. That's probably more broken than we've seen in the past. Even looking at going from that plus 30 signature item up to that plus 40, you do also pick up some crit, some dodge, and 24% attack, which is crazy. Now, if you do not have the chest to build her out, the 30 is still very good. Major breakpoint right there, dealing 50% more damage to enemies that are hit by her specifically. This isn't going to affect everybody in the team. It is going to be her. This makes the 20 more relevant as well. Multiple enemies and hitting multiple enemies is going to amp her damage up, which is exactly what we want to see. Now, in the furniture, good to have and very good in PvP. Now, this is a hero that I feel we are going to be seeing right into the treasure scramble. We're going to start seeing it into a couple different places. And you can see right here, middle, top, bottom is going to be the advanced furniture. If you're building her up across that 9 of 9, attack and crit is going to be huge. And then, of course, defense and crit damage amplification, making her crits more prevalent. Now, looking in here, it grants her perfect strategy beginning of the battle for 12 seconds. Again, very slow-lived with that haste buff that she's getting out of there. 9 of 9 goes even further, increasing the damage of the attacks and skills by 80% for perfect strategy, which of course is that first 12 seconds, meaning that at the beginning of battle, she is just going to be absolute burst when it comes to PvP. If you can go through, if you can burn down some of the targets very fast in PvP, with the burst team, it is going to make a big difference. Now, of course, engraving, you can see here as well. E30 is good to have, and E60 is a must-have. This is where it is pivotal. The 30 is tied to that strategic guide, which is one of her abilities. Makes the effect that whenever an enemy is marked as a final boss, the remaining enemies have their attack and defense rating decreased, which again, survivability for her in there. Triggered up to 3 times, which means that when they go in there, you can have a permanent reduction of 60%, which is crazy. The E60 is where it's broken, guys. It is kind of crazy. Very strong to make sure the divine damage will always land, making accuracy irrelevant. Most importantly, the divine damage by 40% per 20 crit, up to right there 160%, meaning she needs 80 crit to fully max out this passive, which is going to be crazy with 160% more damage out of the hero itself. It's very, very impressive. And even over the plus 60, crit, haste, attack, crit, and insight are going to be the pivotal, the 1, 2, 3, 4 to have right there. Then we get into the collection. So right here, unless you're able to run your Zorath collection in there with the crit, the crit is going to be huge, guys. The crit and the crit damage amplification are going to be the two that you're really looking for in here. Target breakpoint is at level 2 unless you're playing with Sung. Like I said, most of the time that she is going to be run with the other counterpart. Level 1 grants her the 20 and 20 attack speed, which is good. Level 2 allows her to deal 30% more damage with her crit, but she cannot unless she plays again with Sung Woo. We know that is case, but most likely they are going to be run together with the crit and the crit damage amplification in here. You're raising not only the ability of her stats to max and really max out that full damage, but also allowing to do a lot more damage. Now you also notice attack is going to be pivotal in here as well, just for the simple fact that you can raise those stats up. Physical Pierce is showing in here as well. Defensive priority is really that defense reduction, or excuse me, that defense resistance, I believe it is, that is in there. And then there is a little bit of insight, but absolutely building out these two collections, which is interesting because a majority of the heroes, even though we have the new collection, the Isolde collection, a majority of heroes, especially damage dealers, are using the Saurus collection. We also do have the Saurus collection, and then again, the Zorath collection in there, which I do like. Yeah, I like both of them. And honestly, if you haven't built, it's going to make a big difference. When using without Sung, you can see right there that they do have a little bit of a different build. And then the synergy. This is very, very clear to this hero, and specific to this hero. They are designed to be played together with that exposed buff that we do get from Sun Jin Woo in combination with her. It is really going to be an insane damage dealer. And you can see right here, should I get her in the collaboration, absolutely get her either by buying her or getting her in the exchange. Same goes for Sung Jin Woo. Again, they kind of go hand in hand regardless if you're free to play, low spender, or Kraken. You need to get your hands on the dimensionals. We have always said this. And right here, Hae-in seems to be the better out of the two, even without using him. Or if you were just and only had to choose one, I would choose the exact same. It seems like she is going to be the one that we are looking for, the one that we are going to be built. So guys, I hope it helped kind of clarify exactly the hero. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.